right, so let's get into this real quick. I'm gonna try not to make this very long, but these are different graduation designs that I have saved from previous years, and I literally just changed the date, changed the picture, colors, done. So if you want a link for this, I'll send it to you and you'll have access to all of these different templates that you can use. Use your own school colors, pictures, of course, and yeah, it's so easy. But I'm gonna show you how to do it from scratch. Most of these pictures on here are AI images, except for like maybe one or two. Um, but we're gonna recreate this one from scratch. The picture is an AI image, so you can use one of your own, doesn't matter. But some of the fonts that I want you to take note of, what we'll be using is, so for the congratulations, the senior, the number, I like using, I believe it's called Yearbook. Yes, Yearbook Solid is a really good font for this type of style. And then the cursive is a brush style. It's called Regular Brush. So those are the only two fonts that I use when I'm making a design like this. And then this right here where it says you did it, this is a playlist script font. And there's two different colors behind here. I'll go over that to give you like, just a different look, different variations with it. Same with this, the congratulations. Once I ungroup it, you'll see there are two different color schemes or colors that are behind it. That just gives it a different look. Okay, so we're going to create our grudge, and people do their grudges different types of ways. I know some people actually want to have like a solid color in the background, and then create all of their elements, the pictures, the names and stuff, and then you could download it and then drop it into a grudge, or you can just create your grudge on paper and then design on top of that. So I'm going to show you two different ways of how you can get this look. I really like this one. I like designing kind of on top of my grudge, like building the grudge and then putting the design on top. It just, to me, it looks better, and I like how some of the words and things are kind of like off of the grudge. So I'll show you that way, and then I'll show you a different way. So let's just start with a fresh page. And the first thing we're going to do is create our grudge. So if you go over into elements, and I've been playing with this already, just type in grudge background. And you're going to go to graphics, see all, and you're just going to go through here and pick one that you like. There's so many different types, depending on the look that you're going for. But my go-to, if I'm going to use a grudge out of Canva, is I usually just pick this one right here. You do need the pro account, either this one or this one. If you click on the three dots, it's going to tell you who makes it. This one is by Joe and somebody else. I don't know how you say that. But it's just a grudge background. So, or you could go with something like this. Same person. He makes a lot of different backgrounds. So let's start with this one. And you want to pick one that has the color picker where you can change the color to whatever you want. So we are just going to recreate the one before this one, and I'm just going to keep it red. So if you want, you can keep it this size, but we're going to have to duplicate this and add some other textures because it's not going to cover the whole entire page. You see what I'm saying? So, it's just not going to look right. Then some of it's cut off on the end. So, no, we're going to have to duplicate this a couple times. And this is going to be kind of at the top. So I'm going to put it about right here. and we're going to build from there. So you'll see me going back and forth, looking at this, just trying to see how I have things going on. And I'm gonna go back here, and what I'm going to do, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another Grudge, but I want something different, something like this, which is a brushstroke design element. Or I could use this brush stroke, which is by the same person. So let's just stick with him because I actually kind of like his. And we'll make this a little bit bigger, change the color. Okay, and then I'm going to duplicate that a couple more times. Grab that other one, bring it up like this. Let's kind of turn it a little bit. Okay, let me look here. Okay, and probably get one more Grudge for, let me see. Let me look at some of these graphics. This one right here, same person again, just a different style. So I'll use that one, change it to this color, and I'm gonna add this one kind of like at the bottom. Let's see, just a little bit. These, I'm gonna kind of bring it up some. Let me see if I can grab this one. Yeah, there we go. All right, so what I'm going to do now is just highlight everything and um, make it a little bit smaller. Just bring it in some. Center everything up. Oh, nothing is cut off. And yeah. Okay. And another thing I'm going to do is I am going to group this because I don't want it moving all around. So I'll group it, bring it in just a little bit. And there we have the bottom portion of our Grudge. Okay, just like that. Now I'm going to duplicate this page because at the same time I'm going to show you how to drop the image into a Grudge. So let me duplicate real quick. Now this one, I'm going to delete everything and we're going to keep the same color, but I am going to change it. Let me push. Let's see, I'm going to change this color to that red. And basically what we're going to do with this one is we're going to design everything here. We're going to put it all on just this image. It's going to be kind of in the center. When you are dropping an image into a Grudge, you want to keep all of your elements, your pictures kind of in the center. You don't want to go like too close to the edge. And you'll see what I'm talking about because once you drop it into the Grudge, like you want to have enough space to kind of enlarge things, because if it's too close to the edge, you're not going to be able to make it smaller once you put it into the Grudge. You can make it bigger, but you won't be able to minimize and make it smaller so that everything fits inside. And you'll see what I'm talking about when we download this picture and then re-upload it to drop it into a Grudge. Okay, so going back to the first one, next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some more elements, these little black specks and the cracked, the Grudge cracked texture. We're going to add that. So you're going to add all of your elements first, and then you are going to add your picture and then the wording. That's how I like to do it. You can do it any way you choose, but I like to add everything that's going to be in the background first. Then I bring in my picture, add whatever elements I want, and then my wording will go around my picture. So those little black specks are really like a watercolor. So I will just type in watercolor splash. Um, and let me see if I can find the exact one. Watercolor stain. It's like a, let me see. Let's see. Something like this, which is very, very close. Pink watercolor stain. Let's see. Okay, yes. So I'm going to change that to black. There we go. And you can place these wherever you want to place them. Like, um, there's no like right or wrong way of doing this. Duplicate, flip, um, place them wherever you want. Make them small, make them big, whatever. If you want to put some down here at the bottom, that's up to you. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to elements and we're going to look for that crack texture. It is called a Grudge crack. Let's see. Looks like this one here. No, not that. It is a graphic. Here we go. And it's called Grudge Crack Texture Background. So I'm going to click that. Perfect. I need it black. So I'm going to make it smaller because I want it to kind of stay inside here. Let's see. I think I had it like something like that. Oh, it's actually white. Okay. Yeah, that makes it stand out a little bit better actually. Let me see. Um, there we go. Yeah, that makes it look a lot better. Something like that. Okay, and I actually am going to go to position layers because I want to move this behind these little watercolor specks like that. Okay, so now we are going to add the person, the graduate, and I have her saved right here. And I'm going to move the background, BG remover. There we go. Bring it in just a tiny, tiny bit. I'm going to add some effects to her. So I'm going to go up here to edit. I'm going to click on shadows and I think I want to give her a glow. And I'm going to want to be able to see that. I'm going to bring the intensity up. I need the size about 30 and the blur. I want to blur it out a little bit. Let's put that at 70. And I'm gonna bring the intensity all the way up. All right. Okay, so now from here, I'm just going to make her a little bit bigger and center. Okay. Let's look here. Alrighty. So now, and don't worry about the bottom part, like the cutoff part, because it's going to be covered with the wording. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna leave it about right there. Let's just center it. Okay. So now we're going to go and do our words. I'm going to push the letter T for text. And I am going to type out, congratulations. Wait. Where is it? Let me change so I can see. Let me just do black for right now. And I can't even, okay, there we go. Just move you on up here. So we're actually going to duplicate this because we are going to have two different colors. that we're going to use. That's completely up to you. This is just something that I like to do. And we are going to curve this. So let me see. I think I'm going to have, let's see. Let me go to effects because I want the black outline. Actually, let me change the text to white and then effects with the black outline. Black outline thickness. We're going to bring that all the way up. About, let me see, like that. Because I definitely want to have black on the outside. And then I'm going to duplicate this and let's see, what do I want to do? How did I have it here? I think I had, okay, so I had red on the outside, red and white, white, black, red. Let's go back. So let me change, go to effects and change this color to the red. And then I can put this here and I'm gonna have to bring the thickness down on that. There we go. So you can see the difference here. The one on the bottom, you want the thickness to be expanded a lot. So that way, when you put the top layer on, you can see both layers. So you see the red outline and you see the black outline from the top layer. Now, you want to make sure that that is centered. And I'm going to bring up the thickness just a little. You don't want to bring it too high because then you can't see the red. You see that? So you want it to be kind of like just right. And I think 85 is good. Looks good to me. Okay. Now I'm going to take both of these. I might have to go to position and grab both. Let me see. Group and then effects. I think I can still do it. Add the curve. There we go. And we are going to use our slider to bring it about right there. I think that's good. And I just realized, okay, so this font is called Freshman, but I think I wanted to use, let me see what Yearbook Solid looks like. Okay, so yeah, I like that one better. Yearbook Solid, let me ungroup. Let me see if I can change this from Freshman to Yearbook Solid. There we go. And then I'm gonna go and group those two together. And yep, like that. So we'll have this here, and then what I will do is push T again, and I'm going to type out her name. And this is just a name that I kind of made up. Let's go bring this in. All right, we're going to change the font, and we will use that brush font that I talked about. What was it called? Regular brush. Regular brush. Bring that in. And I want this to have a black outline. So I'm gonna hit effects, I'm gonna go to outline and change it to black. Let's see. Bring the thickness up a little bit. All right, that looks better. Move you over. Bring you about right here. Okay, like that. Maybe make it a little bigger. Okay. Yep. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is add the numbers So I'm going to hit T again, and let's do that. Change the font. Let me hit. I don't know. It keeps going to freshman for some reason, but I'm gonna use yearbook solid. Let me see. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Trying to bring the spacing in some a little bit. And I am going to change this to the red color with an outline of white. Just like that. Bring this up a little bit. And this will go here. And I need to expand some of my Grudge. Let me go here. The Grudge, I'm going to have to ungroup. Okay, because I need to expand. Let's bring it out a little bit. Bring this out. And the reason why I'm doing this is because you can't see the white outline on white. So I'm going to have to make my Grudge a little bigger, but I don't want it too big. So what I'm going to do here, where's this one? This one, let me Command D to duplicate, and I'm going to move one here. I'm going to duplicate that again and bring it like this. And then I'm click on both of those and slide them down. There we go. Let me see. Move it up some. Duplicate that one more time. That's going to go here. Move that down just like that. And I think I'm good. Let me see. I'll move all that down like this. Okay. Duplicate. I'll bring this like that. Okay. And you can position these however you choose. So now we have that. The next thing that we're going to look for is I am going to look for the little scroll. Let me see. Who did I use? Click on info. It's called Education Diploma Flat icon. So if we go to elements and type that in, I think this is it. Yeah. Let me see. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so let me see. And you can choose any one that you like. Okay, so where did it go? Blow this up a little bit, and you see all these colors. You can change all these colors. And we're just going to do white, red, and I believe black. Yeah. So let me click on it again. This is going to be white. Let's see. Change all these to white. This right here will make black. And you can use like, whatever your school colors are. Do that. It's no problem. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Red. Where's that at? Maybe this one? There we go. Okay. So I'm going to just place this over here. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Place it like that. And I actually want it, do I want it on top? Yeah, I want this to be on top of the number. So I'm just going to drag that up to the top. And there you have it. Just like that. Now we are going to do senior T. And we are going to use yearbook solid. Let me bring that out. That's the same. Hold on. Smaller. So let's make the color red. And then we're going to add an effect. Outline white. Bring the thickness up just a little bit. And that will go right in the center. This. Duplicate that and make it smaller. I'm going to put the school. I'm going to change the outline. Let's see. Effects. Change the outline to black. And I'm going to change the color to white. If I can. White. Well, hold on. Let's spell that wrong. I don't believe that's it. Yep, 71st High School. And we're going to make that a little smaller. Like that. Um, Duplicate. You did it. Okay, this has two different colors, so red and black with the white. Let me change this to that red color. Duplicate my outline. Here is a white, I believe. Let's see. position. Let's see, this is gonna go something like that. And then this one will go on top. There we go. Let me group those together. It looks like there's a space in here. Okay, this is how it is. All right. Line those up. Okay, it's not even. Well, hold on, y'all. Let me duplicate. This one has the white outline. Okay, move you here. And this goes on top. Now that bottom one, I gotta turn the, there we go. Alrighty, and now, undo. Now I'm gonna group them both together. Okay. So just play around with the fonts on what you want to use. But that's pretty much it as far as doing this one, which is very, very similar to the one that I did right here. The only thing that you need to add is the logo, the school logo. So I'll go back to uploads. I believe I still have that in here somewhere. But you add your logo and then you're done. Okay. So, let's see, that's going to bother me. Let me see. I'm just going to grab it from here. Add our logo and done. Okay, so that could be one way. Now, if you wanted to do the method where you drop and drag, you would basically, let me highlight all of this. Let me go to position real quick because I don't, what I want, okay. You would highlight, let me just highlight all of this just to save time. Command C. We would basically do everything we did here. We would just put it here. Command V. So all of that plugging and dropping and all of that stuff, we would do that here. I'm not going to take the time and redo this and all that. So I just brought all the elements over. You would bring everything here. Let me just group this really quick so it won't move. Like that, right? And then what I would have to do is now I have to make this small, and I usually go about 6 inches, bring it towards the center, right? Because what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to download this to your computer and then re-upload it into your uploads, okay? And you want everything to be centered, and make sure you have enough space on the left and the right side. If this doesn't, when you drop it into your Grudge, if it doesn't work, that means you're going to have to come back over here and make it smaller. So let's do 5.5 and center it okay? Because you want to be able to drop it and then expand it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to download, and I just need to download this page. So let me go current page. Done. I bring my slider all the way to the end so I can have like the best quality, no pixelation, none of that stuff, right? Download, let it do its thing. And then you're going to need a Grudge frame. Okay. Now I have some Grudge frames that I got off of Etsy. I will leave the link in the description. And I saved them in Canva. So here it is right here. I'm going to go, and if you click on the eye, it's going to tell you the DPI 568. That's really good. Anything over 300 is 9 times out of 10 really good quality. Okay. So I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Save, go back into Canva, and upload that file. So let me go here. We'll get that from my recents. Boom. Upload. It's there. And if you have a Grudge frame, you would upload your frame that you want to use. And I have like frames already saved. I call them frame templates, right? Grudge frames. So I go here and I'm going to leave you guys the link because it's from this company called Flying Kiwi Creations. And you get all of these different templates that you can use, right? So let me just click here. I want to open up another page. I'm just going to duplicate, right? I'm gonna click here. I'm gonna take that off, take all this off, turn this back white so I can show you. All right, so I'm back on here. So you're gonna pick whichever frame you like, right? I normally go with this one. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back to my uploads, grab that I just uploaded, and then drag it in. Boom. And it's like really, it's perfect the way it is, right? But let's say I wanted to make it a little bit bigger. That's why I said you got to make your image small. You have to make this small and centered. And we were at 5.5. I'm kind of glad I went down to 5.5 and not 6, right? So now that I have it in this Grudge, if I double click on the image, I can expand it to make it a little bit bigger. You see what I'm saying? But it's got to fit inside, because if not, that's how it's going to look. Let me change this to like a light gray. You see, you don't want nothing cut off unless that's how you want it. So you want to have room to kind of play. And this is as small as it gets, right? So I can't go any smaller than that because we set it at 5.5. So that's actually perfect. Okay. So that's how it would be to drop it into a Grudge. But me personally, that's why I say I prefer to just create my Grudge the way I showed you in the beginning and just put my elements there. To me, this looks way more better than that. But that's just me. So you choose which way you like and go with it. So I hope you guys learned something. I hope you got something out of it. Please leave a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts. Talk to you guys later. Take care.